How we doing, guys?
Doing great.
Thank you. So my name's Nate. I'm kind of like last minute MC here. So those of you who don't know, welcome to Helicon West. It's an awesome event. It's been going on here at the library for longer than I've been around. And tonight's all open mic, so everyone who's going to be reading is just signed up, and they're just by the grace of their heart here to share their poetry with you. And oh, cool. So we got our list right
If anyone
here.
else wants to sign up, the sign-up sheet is this yellow pad.
Yeah, just yell at me and sign up. And so tonight will all be open mic. We won't be doing a second Helicon this month because of Thanksgiving. The next Helicon will be December 7th, and then we won't be doing a second one in December because of Christmas. So next, on December 7th will be the last one for the fall, and that's pretty much it. Anyone got any questions? If not, I will get us rolling with a couple poems.
Yay.
So I've only got 3, they're pretty short. This one's called Marianne Told Me. Marianne told me, draped in the window dementia, eyes drifting with dust smokes, tissue paper lips, unwrapping around the word child. I've known men with chests full of so many hummingbirds all droning, in different directions all thirsty for different nectar. I've known men whose first love was an asphalt promise that they could kiss a horizon, a road open to allow them to shut doors or keep them cracked. I have known men to strike me like a match too hard against the strip and leave me in pieces before trying out the next. I have known men to live their entire lives like the static drawl against the outer rim of a vinyl, head spinning on needlepoint worries just waiting for the music to begin, child. I have known men like you. And the second one is called Still in Samsara. So I took a Buddhism class. Yay, I'm in college, took a Buddhism class. What else is new? So samsara is like the cycle of birth and death and rebirth and everything. It's characterized by suffering. So this is called Still in Samsara. Wrapped in dissonance, I listen to tubercular engines reverberate over asphalt. Why? I sit cross-legged on the porch, soil in a sun-baked pot to my right. The world tilts. Day is draining to dusk as color runs from an ancient sunflower across the street, bowing its big dark head to the concrete in such stillness that all around is watercolor bleeding, blurring round its gravity, turning and turning into nothing. I notice her seed, stillborn on the sidewalk. And then last, this one's called Bangalore. And I don't have a lot to say about it except the poem itself. So, plantains, human on the forest breath receding from the dead dew of asphalt, come carbon sweat, prayless hunters wed with metal sharp-eyed tar gild their death makers. Rise with the city as it bruises, their city colored, blooming under its touch. Swarm in the high-rise shadows, swarm in the markets, swarm in the windows, the masala carts, the temples, the cigarette stands. Everywhere the concrete crawls, hunting stillness into the shrines of penniless gods, the alleys and the aging in the mange-taut ribs of rotting canines. Hunger in a bizarre capillary, a vein of incense smoke sweetly snakes before a baby girl's jade-bright eyes, looking, already looking. So those are my poems. Up next we'll have Ronald Jensen, followed by Amy Blakely. That's it for Ronald.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
From York, 2055. 55 and over is always bad. And that's good for older women and men. Now it's a good that I am in. Think about time passing, makes me head spin. Could I really be 55? Is the age that has a heart? That after every spell of time, you get to must accept the passage of time. From a girl called Haley. I have a stepdaughter whose name is Haley. She's a great part of my life daily. I married her mother, and I do understand how it's hard to see a mother with another man. And I'm so proud of her for accepting me as a part of her family. I love her so, and I must confess, she hasn't given my love a test.
So I just have one poem today, and I've actually been working on this poem since the middle of September. I have bipolar disorder and spent a week in the psychiatric hospital because my meds got completely out of sync with the rest of me and my life kind of fell apart. And so this started while in the hospital as a sort of angry rant about being there, and it's called Welcome Pamphlet. Congratulations! You have been diagnosed with mental illness. As part of your diagnosis package, your user designation has been changed from full human, status emotional, to pseudo-human, status mentally ill. As per regulation, under this new designation, smiles are mandatory and displays of emotion are strictly prohibited. All outbursts shall be treated as hostile. Should you find emotion completely unavoidable, please limit yourself to private displays. Therapy and medication management are designed to keep you nominally functional. It is expected you will comply with all suggested treatment plans promptly and without complaint. Common side effects of psychiatric medication include, but are not limited to, photosensitivity, changes in vision, dehydration, gastrointestinal discomfort, and weight gain. It is strongly advised that patients stick to a balanced, healthy diet, stop consuming all caffeine and alcohol in favor of water, and give up any fun they might enjoy with the prolonged life mental health treatment allows. While many patients report loss of libido and/or diminished sexual stimulation, patients are advised to remember sexual intimacy is a vital part of romantic partnership, even when it leaves you feeling thoroughly violated. Failure to uphold these terms and conditions may lead to hospitalization, destruction of personal relationships, both friendly and romantic, and eviction from the family unit for their preservation and well-being. If forced into hospital, please be aware the first document you will sign strips you of all rights granted to you as a human being. Much like being a prisoner, contact with friends and family shall be limited to 2 15-minute phone calls per day and 30 minutes of visitation every other day. You will further be allowed no choices or opinions on anything from your meals to your treatment plan. Leaving the hospital is granted only when the psychiatrist and therapist managing your care agree that you are sufficiently stable and safe to re-enter regular society. You may direct all further questions and concerns regarding your condition and proposed treatment plan to your local mental health care provider, so you may be further stripped of rights as deemed necessary for the protection of yourself and/or others. It is absolutely vital to your success as an individual afflicted with mental illness for you to remember your comfort is not nearly as important as that of those who are forced to interact with you.
Hey, so for anyone that got here a little late, just so you know, I got the sign-up sheet right here, so throw your name on it if you want to read something awesome for us. Anyway, otherwise, awkward filler word. Next we'll have Isaac Timm, followed by Kristyn Decker. So let's hear it for Isaac, guys.
And while Isaac comes up here, if anyone does not want to be filmed, then just let me know and I will turn off the camera for you.
Thanks so much.
Don't let that keep you from putting yourself on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize there was a...
Oh,
A little more room. I don't want to take out the perfectly nice painting behind me.
Yeah, what does it feel like if it fell on your head either?
I really like that backdrop. It's neutral. It's pretty.
Yeah, it looks great on film. Is that what they call it, film? Looks great on video.
Video. Yeah,
Film is
we're
still
showing
fine.
our age star.
I know it.
Film. We had VHSs and all that kind of old timey stuff. Phones with cords and
Dials.
dial up. I don't miss that screeching modem sound. You're lucky, lucky people. All right. Got 3 poems, one about a monster, social anxiety, and single-cell organisms. in that order. Caliban briefly takes up smoking. Caliban liked Big Tobacco's modality, fill the world with smokers. So he joined up, accessorized, bought a biker's jacket with metal studs and a brushed metal Zippo, purchased the cigarettes with the Russian comrade art, so when the beautiful people came to him for a fix, he would look hip, an extra level of sophistication with their satisfaction. Strangely enough, the cigarette in his mouth, Caliban always had something to say, a joke, a clever turn of phrase to distract the blonde as they huddled in a group like pigwins, or under an awning, or slouched against a wall like lurkers aiming to pass off secret rocket plans. And he would have continued, by God, how he liked to blow smoke in the faces of budding young Prosperos who marched forthrightly across campus with wagging fingers. Was your judgmental bullshit worth the secondhand smoke? Caliban would return with a smoky sneer. But one night, when with the amazing blonde in his dorm, he reached for his coat, but instead grabbed an ash can and got a swallow of 4 days of butts and backwash. He fell over, gasping like a landed fish, and the blonde, trapped and disgusted, leaped over him as he retched brown evil. It was then that Caliban decided smoking wasn't for him. And this is to an anxiety-ridden self. When your muscles knot, tightening shoulders, cramping your neck in an ogre's hand, throttling your breath, causing your hands to sweat and your fingers to fidget, remember, it's just a crowd of people laughing, nothing more. Remember the raven launching from the wall, blue in the sun, flight feathers turned out to create lift, wings forward, a void contracting then exploding, air moving past your face, a touch. Remember your muscles seizing is just a memory of flight. Prayer to the red earth. For millions of years the sea rusted, longer than dinosaurs and mammals walked. Iron protected life, even as their oxygen broke it down. On my knees I hold red stone in my hand, imagine rust settling, oxygen exploding out, painting the burning sky blue. As dust rolls from my hand, I thank the single-celled gods for the life they gave.
It's a great revision, that's it.
Thanks, Bart.
It's been a while since I spoke in front of people, and I've been chasing around Logan getting lost, so this is very new.
All right, welcome.
Thanks. This is my book, 50 Years in Polygamy, Big Secrets and Little White Lies. Second book. And so I thought I'd read a little bit out of that. And if anybody wants one, you can have one for just printing cost afterwards, which is about $5. So anyway, I don't even know where to begin. I was born and raised in polygamy, got out, never been so happy in my whole life. So there's a few excerpts in here. And I didn't get time to practice because I got lost. So anyway, it's good to be here. Mark is my husband, my ex-husband. Diane is my husband's second wife. So just a little bit of background there. When Mark and Diane returned from their honeymoon, I flawlessly performed my routine. I said all the words and carried out all of the actions I visualized and rehearsed 100 times over, just like a perfect programmed robot. I did so well, I actually believed every single thing I said and did. I felt I'd passed my test with honors. Act as if, and it shall come to pass. With my hugs and kisses and thoughts of missing them, telling them I was glad that they were home, all the sweet, kind, gooey stuff. I was sure Mark, Val, my mother, and even God must have been very proud of me. Mark stayed with me the night he and Diane returned from their honeymoon. and without a word, he and I held each other tight until morning. While he was asleep, I wondered if Diane was also asleep. In the crevices of my mind, I saw them naked, holding each other. Stop it, Sophia. Don't even get yourself to thinking that ever again, I demanded myself. Think of other things, happy thoughts, the kids. You know Mark loves you. He's right here to prove it to you. You should be happy now. This is what God wanted. This is what God said you must do. He expects you to be happy. And you must endure to the end. Be proud. You and your family are finally on your way to the highest glory of heaven, the celestial kingdom. A couple of weeks later, and around midnight, I woke up with a thumping noise and whispering voices. Their bedroom hers was right below mine. Please, God, don't let this be what I think it is, what it sounds like. I heard myself cry out under my breath. Get up, I told myself. Go in the front room and sleep on the couch. The obvious noises got louder until I wished I could jump up and down on the floor and flush the toilet 500 times and break the windows or die. And then it got quiet. Oh, thank God I was wrong. They don't enjoy sex together. They never do. They never do. Just go back to sleep, Sophia, I thought. Then I wondered if I'd been hearing things or was just going crazy. I got up on the floor and put my ear against the furnace vent. A few minutes of telltale noises gave me the vivid picture that knocked the breath right out of me and made me dizzy. Somehow, I dragged my limp body to my bedroom door, down the hall, and to the kitchen. Get the knife, Sophia, I heard my voice say. You might as well die right now. Just get the knife before you pass out. I reached for the butcher knife in the cupboard above the stove. It was there, thank God. And now all I have to do is take one swift blow. The voice that told me again, this stab can't possibly hurt you as much as you already hurt. Do it, Sophia. Go ahead. Shove it into your heart, deep and fast. And then your pain will be obliterated forever. Do it, do it, do it. I pressed the end of the blade to my chest until it dented the mark in my blue nightshirt and burned against my skin. One swift, heavy blow, that's all it will take. I drew the knife a foot or so away from my chest and ready for the plunge. Suddenly, I heard Skylar's voice cry out. It's now or never, the voice warned. If you don't kill yourself now, you never will, and you'll have to deal with this pain for the rest of your life. My baby's cry became louder and louder and more demanding. I quietly set the knife back on top of the fridge, feeling my guilt and grateful that I hadn't been caught with it. When I reached Skylar's crib, I thanked God for my precious little sons, for Sky's loud cries, and for his precious smile and his infant arms that reached out to me when my soul came back to him.
Isaac, I want to call like some non-smoking campaign and like commission that first poem of yours. Haven't heard an argument that convincing in a while. Last call for sign up, guys. If anyone wants to read that hasn't yet, if you guys want to like follow the amazing talent that's been. Otherwise, Hayden is up next, and that'll be the end of our sign up. Oh, heck yeah, you can.
I think there's a switch on the mic itself.
I guess I don't need it. I'm loud. So, you read a couple poems, so I'm gonna read a couple poems. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the first one is called Freak Show, and it's inspired by. Have you guys ever seen those clickbaity articles on Facebook where someone like puts on a fat suit and a fat mask and all this different makeup to make themselves look fat, and then they go around and finally they come back and they're like, well, fat people are treated awful. Like, yeah, no kidding. So this poem was inspired by something like that. It just kind of annoyed me, so in a fit of passion, I guess I wrote this. Enjoy? Question mark? Enter my body. Feel the weight of my chicken wings and the sag of my calves. There is no warning and no relieving the oily slime that will seep into your very existence for the split second that you become me. Remarks become marks as they bubble up under my skin and burst, scarring and marring my canvas. There is no paint to use. There is only grease. Grease scraped from the skin and the skim of the cream that's spoiled from heat and anger and rotting humid breath that rolls off of a lazy tongue. Morning scum. My skin is stretched so tight over my lumpy insides I feel it could rip open at any moment, and I would pour out, made of a thick tar that's red and yellow and blue. Salted scorpions and candied spiders scurry around in burrows of heavy bile, dunked and deep fried in the blistering, roiling fat blistering just under the surface, under the leather that keeps me together. Scabs on stitches well overdue keep me from bursting. Venom in my sweat keeps them from healing. It's a travesty that the bugs in my veins and the bugs in my brains keep me awake so late in the morning with the pitter-patter of little feet. Every inch of me crawls when you try to use my brain. Little by little, my skin is displaced, so my arms and my back become my legs and my face. It's lumpy and frightening and disturbing to look at, but there's something oddly beautiful about the girl wearing stretch marks under her eyes and claw marks on her stomach. Those lumps that you see in the mirror, merely the product of those insects you swallowed. Not surprising, because when you open your mouth, all anyone can hear is the chirping of a cricket. The roar of those around us drowns us. Haven't you realized it yet? We're standing in a limelight that's tainted yellow and blue and black. You accepted this the moment you slipped your feet into my creaking, greasy, flattened out shoes. The one painted with yellow grease, gleaming in the light but unable to breathe through pounds of oil and decay. This won't wash out. Once your canvas is stained, you'll be forced to reconcile with your new pet every day. Bile in your throat, mucus in your eyes, scummy air filling lungs and scarring tongues and simply making every laceration absolutely excruciating. The crowd jeers. Rub some dirt in it, grow a thicker skin. Holes are poked with scathing fingers and helpful words that do more hurt and make more pain than the masses will understand. The walls are made of broken glass. The pit is deep and the ladder is made of barbed wire. It's a game now. They throw gloves made of rice paper and shoes crafted from their expectations. It's not so bad. We helped you. This is better than nothing. You might want to go to try and escape. Go ahead. Try it for a while. Once you fall back in the muck and slip and fall and burn your pierced hands and step bloody feet in salty, messy disgrace, you'll give up. Just like me. Just like all of we, lying in our cages, free to go after terrible, bloody, humiliating struggle. You exit my body. You get to leave the freak show, stained and pricked and marked for all eyes to see. How brave, how courageous. You did it. It must have been hard. I don't envy you. Just a second. There it is. So this next one is called Shifting, and it's a little bit more lighthearted than the last one, I promise. I guess it's kind of based on coming to terms with your reflection. I know, a lot of self-image issues. Anyway, it's called Shifting, and here it is. I'm still coming to terms with my reflection, dissociating if I look too long. The mirror, the shining glass in front of me, can take my eyes and nose and lips and turn them into something else as I rub makeup on my face or brush my hair. Something I don't recognize, something foreign. It has a magic that tapes my wrapping and erases my name from the gift card, bleaches my colors, something else stares back. I need a mirror that strips back my skin and my fat and my flesh and my bones and shows what I'm really made of. Things a mirror can't reflect, things a photo can't capture, things an eye can't see, things that lurk underneath my packaging and shine through my windows and will only come out for those who aren't looking. The hair falling to a black barber's floor, the dying light of an Alaskan sunset climbing up the mountains towards a black heaven. raw, grainy, bitter chocolate with sugar yet to be added. The golden chains of Justice's scales in the cotton candy clouds after a twilight rain. The ink spot made on a page, on a blank page made by a hesitating hand. Lint from an old worn blanket and a discarded Y key. Cracked leather spines, dusty loosely from a lost sketchbook, and used Band-Aids wrapped into fingers muddy and frayed on the edges from jeans and graphite. Dented shouts, wet with tears. A backpack stained on the inside with red lipstick. A to-do list scrawled in half cursive with only one item left to do. An angry email complete with error not sent. Comfy old boots with soles rubber cemented back on. The angry light of an alarm clock as it reaches 2:37 a.m. The bold rebellion of a child, the muted complacency of an adult. Unkept promises and anger put on silent, swept beneath a beaten, stomped on rug. Under eye circles and crooked winged liner. Drawn too thick eyebrows and hyperpigmentation. Chapped lips, black eyes. Oh look, it's me again. Yep, that's it, bye.
Was that?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Hey, how you feel about the night, guys? You liking it?
Yeah.
Heck yeah! All right. So last we got on the list right now, Mr. Brave Man right here. Steven is going to come and read for us. And if anyone while he's performing decides that they want to throw their name on this list, please do not hesitate. All right. Here we go. Let's hear for Steven, guys.